So this is going to be a little acoustic cover, and then I'll show you the chords I'm playing after a tutorial on how to play Twice's Turtle. Now, my guitar's tuned down a half step, so play accordingly. Basically, if I'm playing it here, when I start off, now I play it down a half step because I can play it with some open strings and stuff. You're going to be playing it here. Now, it's going to sound like this, obviously, but if you're in standard tuning, you just play it down a half step, okay? Everything I play down a half step. I'll go through the chords afterwards, and I'll show you what I'm playing. And that's it. This is going to be a little cover / tutorial on Twice's song Turtle. I'm just going to play along with it, and then I'll show you what I'm playing afterwards. And I hope you guys enjoy. So the basic chords of that song, there's a lot of harmonics, and there's the other guitar doing like lead stuff in the background. Basically, when you start off, you're going to put your finger here. Alright, so remember, everything I do it a half step down. Alright, so you're going to bar these if you're in standard tuning. So I bar these 4 strings here, okay, up on the, now I'm on the 5th fret. So I'm just going to call it out on the 5th fret, but remember, just move everything a half step down, okay? And what you're doing is you're barring these four, and you're going to throw these two fingers here, one here, okay? And you're going to play, and you're just going to slide it up. But what you're going to do, the reason I have it here is because I can play that open note here. Alright, so you do this. The next chord shape is this one. Again, these four barred, this one here, okay? And all you're doing is you're moving that one string up, that one little finger up a half step, but you're going to play this open string here. So it's like a, alright, and you slide up here, and all you're doing is you're barring the whole thing, and you're going to hammer on this note and this note, okay? And then come up here. And what you're doing there is you're barring the 7th fret, the thumb. Now I use the thumb. You can play it like this, not a minor, but like a minor 7th, okay? I just leave that one like this. If you want, you could probably leave the bottom part string open. It's kind of weird, but alright, so again, I'm going to start here. Alright. Same thing. Same as this, just a full step down. So from where you take this chord, keep that one barred, and you're just going to hammer on this one and this one. Now you can go to an A. Well, for you guys it would be here. Because I have this tuning, I could play it here, I could play it here. Alright. What I do is similar to the song, is they're playing just, it seems like they're only playing 3 notes. And what they're doing there is you're putting your finger up here, and then this one here, and this one here. So it's going to be like a... Now I think they're finger picking. Alright, so I'll go... Something like that. Then they go to this chord. Alright. Now one of the guitars is strumming. And all you're doing there is you're barring all the strings, and you're throwing these 2 fingers up on the D string and the G string. Alright. Now this is where they do the harmonics. There's a guitar that's doing something similar to like a it's hard to do. I don't practice it enough. Alright. And what you're doing is, as long as you're playing from like 12 frets or 5 or 7 or whatever, normally your harmonics are here. You can hear them better on an electric. Basically though, as long as you're hitting those harmonics there, no matter where you have your chord, if I play the chord here and I just follow that same thing, the harmonics, then I can do the harmonics for that chord. So I count up 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I'm up on the 12th fret. Alright, now that would be the harmonic for this string if I wanted to hit it or whatever. But because these are up more, then I got to go up one more here, okay? So like 12 from them. It's hard to do. Oh, there it is. I was off one. Alright, and then 12 from the bottom ones or whatever, so. Now, it's not easy to pull off, at least for me, because I just learned it. So you could just hit it like a... As long as you hit those. Anyways, you could just strum it, okay? So it's like a... Or like a... That bottom one's the harder one to get. You can just smack it. Anyways, the verse is pretty much the same thing. Plays the same way. This is all of the verse. Play that throughout all the verses. Again. Now, before it goes in, there's a part where it goes, and all you're doing there is you're barring these 3 strings, okay, and you you have this finger here. So you're barring all four because you're going to pull this one off. And then you go back to the same as the beginning. And this is where it changes. You're going to come up here, throw this finger here, okay? You're up on the 9th fret. You're going to bar these two on the 7th fret. And you're going to put this finger up on the 10th fret. So back to that. For me it's a B minor 7th, okay? So to this. Back to this. Alright, it basically does that twice. The second time though, when you go to that, you come up here. Alright, and what you're going to do is, now remember, again, this is all half step down, so for everyone else it's going to be an F, okay, an F, sustained F. For me it's an F sharp. Alright, F sharp, sustained, which all you're doing is you're barring. You're just doing an F shape, or F, you guys are going to do F shape. F sharp. So it's like a, okay. And all I'm doing is I'm barring the 10th or 9th fret, okay, putting these three fingers here like an A shape, and all I'm doing is moving that note there, okay. And you go to the chorus. For me it's a C sharp minor, okay, or C sharp minor 7. So back to that F sharp shape. And what I do here is it's like playing a B. Alright, for me, for you guys it'd be a B flat. So for me it's a B. And what I do to give it is I throw that little note here there. So you can play like this. Alright, what I do is I go. Same thing, same chord. I'm just not playing all the strings. And I'm using my pinky here. So it's going to be. Then I go to this. It's a diminished chord. And what you're doing there is you're going to put this finger here. Okay. This finger is where it's a little tough. You're going to have to bar these three strings and put this finger over here. It's a little weird. Then I come here, alright, so for me it would be like an E flat 7th or whatever to a G sharp minor, back to this, which is like a B 7, alright, an E major 7th, to that F sharp, E flat minor 7th, to that G sharp minor, C sharp minor 7th, to the F sharp, okay? So it's gonna be then you go to, what you're going to do is just play an E minor 7th to an A to this. I do a D major 7th here, which you're just doing this, you're putting this finger here, this one here, this one here, to a G major 7th. Now I play it a little higher, so I go. And you end on that D major 7th, but then I switch to this D from before. I do, and what I do there is I run my my fingernail over the spot where the harmonics were from before, that, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a, if you hit it just right, you can pull off those harmonics there. Alright, and then you go back to the verse, second verse. Alright, same as first. Second time you go do 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 do. You just kind of stop on that one. Go back to this. Da 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 da. Now I played one of the chords. You can kind of play it down here. Same chord as this that you've been using from the beginning. If you have your guitar tuned down a half step, you can play it this way. Just gonna make a D shape and throw your thumb up here. And that's it. You're just throwing it up on where the G would normally be. Alright? Or you can throw it up here. Same thing. Alright? Which is where this is actually, I guess, would normally be an A note, but so it's a little harder if you play it down here on that part, because you're gonna have to. You can play it. Do 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 do. All right, but if you want to do it the same way, yeah. All right, same. Alright, so basically that's the chords of the verse and the chorus, pre-chorus, all that stuff, and then a little instrumental. The bridge, the only thing the bridge does is it, after you get to that one part, you go back to this chord here, this A major 7th, to the F sharp, to this B, to the G sharp minor, back to that C minor 7th, or C sharp minor 7th, to that F sharp shape. Okay, then you go back into the chorus. Na 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 na. Do 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 do. And the outro is the same as that instrumental. No, I stay on that D major 7th or whatever, and you go back to that part again. Then you can end on that original thing, or that D major 7th, or go back to that one. Anyways, that's the song in a nutshell. It's really pretty, but just remember everything I showed you. Part of me wanted to tell you what the actual chords were, but then I didn't want to confuse and throw people off, so I was just calling up the chords in relation to what I'm playing on this, because it's a half step lower. It'd be too confusing to switch back and forth. So anyways, if none of what I said made sense, just put your fingers where I put them and do it a half step down if you're in standard tuning. That's all. Okay? I hope you guys have a nice day.